Alright, so there wasn't much news to cover from last night, but there was still 8 games. And of course, we still do have a little bit of news. So let's get into everything that happened yesterday in the NBA world. How does that saying go? Fortune favors the bold or something like that? Well, fortune may favor the bold, but fortune absolutely adores the Cleveland Cavaliers. News had just broke that Deron Williams signed up to become LeBron's coveted playmaker, and now ex-Warrior Andrew Bogut will join the ranks. And I'm just saying that has to have Warriors fans feeling some type of way. You could say that Anderson Varejao did the same thing last year when he joined the Warriors, but you know, the difference is Andrew Bogut will actually make a difference when he plays and not just flop around on the ground. And it goes without saying that this was really a no-brainer move for Cleveland, as their backup center spot had been lacking for a while now. And Bogut is a physical big. You know, he may not dominate the stat sheet as much, but he'll still give you, you know, some borderline unnecessary hard screens and won't give up anything easy in the paint. And on top of that, he's a pretty good passer too. And a lot of teams did want him, including the Celtics and the Warriors. And I guess he still might have some bad blood with Warriors management for letting him go, so he chose to go with Cleveland. Former Pistons guard Richard Hamilton had his number 32 retired by the Pistons last night in their game versus the Boston Celtics. Rip was known for being kind of like the Energizer Bunny of the team, you know, continuously running off screens, and then of course was a part of the 2004 Detroit Pistons championship team. He averaged 18.4 points per game in his 9 seasons as a Piston. And as a Pistons fan, I just want to say congratulations to the masked man himself, Richard Hamilton. In the oh wow, who would have saw this coming, he must not have been happy news of the day, Knicks backup point guard Brandon Jennings has been waived by the New York Knicks. Now, Jennings was easily one of the best bench players in terms of production. You know, still inconsistent with his shot, but would often bring a bunch of energy into the games. He averaged around 8 points and 4 assists per game in his little stint with the Knicks. However, Jennings had been unhappy with the Knicks for a while now. In quotes, he would say things along the lines of, "You never knew what was going to happen in the games," in reference to the lineups. He also criticized the Knicks starting lineup for lack of ball movement, and he also had a bit of a falling out with Carmelo Anthony because he believes Carmelo plays too much one-on-one basketball. Overall, I guess Jennings was just fed up and he had higher expectations for the Knicks coming into the season. If I were a team like the Wizards or something though, I would look into signing him still because he could still be a pretty nice bench player, especially for a team like the Wizards who really doesn't have anything to lose in terms of bringing something off their bench. And that wraps up all the news. I guess now it's time to get into the games from last night. Kyle Lowry missed his second game and the Raptors won again. So by logic, that means that the Raptors are better without Kyle Lowry. Psych! DeMar DeRozan was huge once again though, this time scoring 33 points and grabbing 6 rebounds. Serge Ibaka also continues to fit like a glove for Toronto as he had 18 points and 10 rebounds. And like I said, the Raptors got the win over the Portland Trailblazers 112-106. Damian Lillard did have 28 points and 8 assists for Portland though. Rookie Brandon Ingram looked more like what Lakers fans were expecting, or at least hoping to see when the Lakers selected him in last year's draft, scoring a career high 22 points on 10 of 15 shooting. And the Lakers also looked like what we expected them to look like at the start of the season too, as they lose once again, and at this point should be a lock to keep their pick. I guess that means it's been a successful season though. And the Spurs get the win, 119-98. Kawhi Leonard led the way for San Antonio with 25 points. The Celtics survive a comeback attempt from the Pistons, and the Celtics were aided in their survival by Pistons phenom Reggie Jackson, as he lost his mind for a second and thought he was Steph Curry. A 104-98 is your final score. Isaiah Thomas led the way for Boston once again with 33 points, and rookie Jaylen Brown hit a clutch 3 with like 30 seconds left to help seal the game for Boston. Andre Drummond did have 17 points and 15 rebounds for Detroit, and he also earned himself a nomination for the Shaqtin' the Fool of the Year award. Still no win for the ADDC era in New Orleans as they falter late in the game and fall to the Thunder 118-110. Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins did do their parts. Davis with 38 points, including a career high for a single quarter with 24 in the second quarter, and Cousins had 31 points and 10 rebounds. But you know, the rest of the roster, besides the struggling Drew Holiday, is suspect, to put it nicely. Russell Westbrook with another one of his Russell Westbrook games, 41 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists, and Enes Kanter had 20 off the bench. Oh, and DeMarcus Cousins also got a technical foul within the first 32 seconds of the game, his 18th of the season, and he will be suspended for the Pelicans next game. It's gonna take a little bit more than just John Wall and Bradley Beal showing up to beat the Jazz. The Jazz win 102-92, and like I said, Beal and Wall did their parts. Beal with 22 points and Wall with 23 points, 11 assists, and 4 steals. Other than that though, only Bogdanovic off the bench scored more than 9 points. He had 15, which is a welcome sign, I guess, if you are a Wizards fan. For the Jazz though, Gordon Hayward did his usual thing and got buckets. You know, he had 30 points and 9 rebounds. Rudy Gobert was also dominant once again as he scores 15 points, grabs 20 rebounds, and blocks 4 shots. Playing their third game in the past 4 nights, the Clippers hold on to get the overtime win over the Hornets, 124-121. Blake Griffin was dialed in and gave his best performance of the season, scoring a season high 43 points and also had 10 rebounds and 5 assists. And Chris Paul was quietly sneaking up on a 2020 game with 15 points and 17 assists. The Hornets did play better than what they had been in previous games, but it still obviously wasn't enough. 34 points for Kemba Walker and 31 points for Nicholas Batum. A big corner 3 ball for none other than Mr. Darkness himself, Tony Snell, iced the game for the Bucks last night against the Suns, 100-96. Giannis was dominant as always, scoring 28 points on 11 of 13 shooting. He also had 8 rebounds and 6 assists, and Michael Beasley, who is actually having one of his best seasons since, you know, his problematic days, had 17 off the bench. TJ Warren did the most scoring for the Suns as he dropped 23. The Grizzlies scored 37 points in the fourth quarter. That has to be up there in terms of points scored in a quarter for them, I am sure. And they got the win over the Denver Nuggets 105-98. A big scoring game for Mike Conley with 31 points, and Zebo continues to flourish in his new bench role with 20. Danilo Gallinari scored 24 for Denver. And that about wraps up all the action for the day 125 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. And now it's time to get into the player of the day. Yesterday, you guys selected Carmelo Anthony and his 37.6 rebounds, including the game winner, as your player of the day, and here are today's nominees. Of course, you have Russell Westbrook and his 43 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. Blake Griffin and his 43 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Giannis Antetokounmpo and his 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Or Rudy Gobert and his 15 points, 20 rebounds, and 4 blocks. You guys can go vote for the player of the day right now. The link to the poll will be in the description box below. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like on it if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the Bucks, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!